What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks. Man, look, let me tell y'all. I sat here for damn near 2 hours trying to figure out what the fuck's been going on with my damn computer. Luckily, I'm streaming now, so um like I was sitting here fucking tripping. Like I was like, yo, I said to the people that I was gonna go live today. It's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. I was trying to, do this because number one, I've never done this before, so it's all a little new. so, um, if y'all could hit that like button, share it or whatever, because you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure that everybody gets to see this today. So I'm gonna go out real fast. I'm gonna let the music play, and I'm gonna come back. Give me like I say like 5 minutes. All right, I'll come back in 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, I just had to send some stuff off or whatever. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Marcus Speaks. I'm your host, Marcus. I ain't said that shit in a while. So, so yeah. So today's topic is basically me just going over uh like just current stuff that's been happening up in like the news and everything that's been going on. So hopefully with my setup I can show y'all everything that's going on or whatever. So uh basically today I'm going to talk about various topics from presidential debate to fucking Vlad TV and what's going on over there and everybody that's against them. Also, um, we're gonna be talking about new reconstruction. The two ladies that bought that 90 some odd acres of land up in Georgia, and what they want to do with it. The new California state law that had passed sometime, I think this week or something like that, but they was deliberating it for like I think a good like 2 3 months or something like that, maybe a month. I'm gonna go over that, and I'm gonna go over the Breonna Taylor stuff that's going. So let me know if y'all can hear me. Please tell me in the comments or whatever. I want to know if my sound is good. What's the sound like, y'all? Sound good? Oh, I, I need to know if my sound's good, y'all. All right. So let's go over the first thing. So we all know with the whole like Breonna Taylor thing and the whole the shooting and stuff like that. Like the police was trying to cover it up, like it happened back in March or whatever, and they're finally saying something about it. The police chief or the attorney general or whatever, no, the state attorney came out, made a statement about everything and all that, and about the protests and stuff. Um, it's just crazy, like everything that's happening or whatever this year. So, um, what had what had occurred for everybody who probably doesn't know, but if you already know, this ain't new news. So basically, Breonna Taylor was involved in a police raid. Like, police came to her apartment and they basically, shot the place up and all that. And like a whole bunch of fuck shit happened that day. So what what's not adding up is that the police chief gave a statement basically about stuff that we already knew about the shooting. Like, we all knew that it was it was like some fucked up shit. So I'm gonna show y'all this video of of the Breonna Taylor thing. But before I do that, I want to do this. So this is basically me covering my ass with this. So this is for fair use. So the federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, uh, which doesn't infringe on copyright under 17 USC 017. So, since I got that shit out the way, let's go into the video. So let me get my shit queued up real fast. What they doing? Let me get this worked out.
To a highly unusual move in the Breonna Taylor case today, the Kentucky Attorney General released 15 hours of audio tape from the 2.5-day grand jury investigation into Taylor's death after a judge ordered it. That grand jury did not charge any officers with Taylor's death and just one former officer with endangering Taylor's neighbors. The prosecutor said this at the time.
According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death.
That, of course, sparked outrage.
Wait. What? He's covering for them. This is what happened. This is the truth. This is shit I've been searching the whole damn time. I got 2 minutes of his statement of the killing of Breonna Taylor. This is what he says in that is basically him covering the whole damn thing up. It's like, what, we don't know what the hell, like, what happened? Like, it was a police raid on her house because of something, like, of what, some dude that she used to mess with or whatever, like, and then, like, which it was a video I saw of this other YouTuber. I didn't get to put his video in because it's too damn long, number one, but he basically goes over all this stuff about how Breonna Taylor was in cahoots with, like, drug trading and shit like that. That's the reason why they raided her house or whatever. Like, I don't believe that I don't believe that at all. Like, I believe, and this is just my belief, this ain't the facts, this is just my belief, that the cops basically, to me, got a wrong address, came to the address, and then basically, you know what I'm saying, like, basically just killed her, and her boyfriend tried to defend, you know what I mean, her apartment because he didn't know who the hell it was. He thought it was the dude that she used to mess with. Because rumors saying is that homie was getting mail to the house, to her house, or whatever. Because I guess he didn't have a place of residence or whatever. But I'm going to continue this video.
And protests. The tapes released today come after an anonymous member of the grand jury filed a lawsuit accusing the prosecutor of trying to deflect responsibility for the charging decision. ABC's Alex Perez has been poring over these newly released tapes and joins us now. Thanks so much, Alex. So let's start off with what we learned today about the case, especially about the question of whether those three officers announced themselves before barging into Breonna Taylor's home in the middle of the night.
Well, Lindsay, first of all, we can't punctuate enough just how rare it is to have a look at the grand jury proceedings at this point in the criminal case. Now, in terms of what we learned from these tapes when it comes to police barging in, we knew from before that officers were serving a no-knock search warrant, but we've learned through testimony that they say once they arrived there, they discussed the fact that Jamarcus Glover, that's Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend and sort of the center of the warrant, had been taken into custody earlier that evening. So they say because of that, they turned this into a knock and announce warrant. And so several officers testified that they actually knocked and identified themselves before barging in. Now, we know that Breonna's boyfriend, who was Kenneth Walker, who was inside the home with her at the time of the apartment, he says police did not identify themselves. But
you hear that? The police did not announce themselves. So basically, they did a no-knock warrant to the knock warrant, whatever. So her boyfriend, I forgot homie's name, so I hope that the news reporters say it. When it came to the ballistics report, it showed that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend didn't even shoot any of the cops. He shot, he let off a shot, but it never hit a police officer. So somebody within the team shot one of his fellow officers during the whole. They heard a shot, that homie looked off, and then they just started shooting all crazy and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? And y'all saw the video of him when he got arrested, of him saying that he didn't know that it was them, and you know what I mean, he would never shoot a cop, but I'm saying, like, he didn't know what the hell was going on. Any logical person that hears their door being knocked down and they have a weapon in the house, yeah, they gonna grab their shit and they gonna start busting off or whatever. For the simple fact that he's trying to defend not only the house, but fuck that, fuck the house. He's trying to defend, he has a lady in the house, he don't want nothing to happen to her. He damn sure don't want nothing to happen to him. So he's gonna try to defend, you know what I mean, their residents at all costs. So I don't understand what the hell the dude, the attorney general, is saying. Like, it's crazy. So let's get back into this.
Several officers in testimony contradicting what Kenneth Walker said. One officer saying they knocked on the door for at least 2 minutes, identifying themselves and then knocking, identifying themselves again, and then knocking. In testimony, one of the officers described those few chaotic seconds when they barged through that door and the gunfire began. Let's take a quick listen to some of that testimony describing the chaos.
I'm at the threshold of the door. I'm immediately overwhelmed with bright flashes and darkness, and what I describe as a movie reel that's doing that ticking where you see white, black, white, black. I know John is now not where he's supposed to be. There's nobody in front of me. John is now on the ground, or John is below me. And there's still these flashes happening, these vivid white lights.
A whole bunch of lies, basically. I'm not even gonna allow myself to have y'all sit through that. A whole bunch of bullshit ass testimony to the grand jury of tapes that I have that I'm gonna show y'all of them after the fact or whatever, and it's blatant, like, of what they did. And the talk is that not only did they hit Breonna's house that night, they hit several other houses that night too. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, okay, I understand the police was trying to, I guess, get drugs off the street in Louisville, whatever, but like, come on, like, it's just crazy. that second video down of the Attorney General talk.
After hearing the evidence from our team of prosecutors, the grand jury voted to return an indictment against Detective Hankinson for 3 counts of wanton endangerment for wantonly placing the 3 individuals in apartment 3 in danger of serious physical injury or death. While there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law, these charges are not applicable to the facts before us because our investigation showed, and the grand jury agreed, that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker. Let me state that again. According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification...
Yo, I just realized that my mic was off when I was saying all that. So I hope that y'all heard everything I said through the other mic that I have going playing for the video. So basically, in short of what I said, if y'all didn't hear it, it was all foolishness and bullshit and lies, and the grand jury basically are taking the police officer's side and everything. That's basically all that I said in short. So I'll continue the video.
Bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death. I understand that Miss Breonna Taylor's death has become a part of a national story and conversation. But we must also remember the facts and the collection of evidence in this case are different than cases elsewhere in the country. Each is unique and cannot be compared. There will be celebrities, influencers, and activists who, having never lived in Kentucky, will try to tell us how to feel, suggesting they are...
Stop. It doesn't matter who the hell is saying how people should feel. The feeling has been going on. Okay, so if y'all didn't see, what, two videos that I made, I think it was like, I don't know, yeah, 2 videos ago. So I did the short last week, and then I think I re-uploaded a video that I had did back in like July. So basically I said in the video, in one part of the video was Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd became the catalyst of the protests that happened back in, what was it, June? So the reason why everybody got up in arms and they started protesting, looting and shit like that is because not only have these 3 black people died at the hands of police officers, what about all the, Ahmaud Arbery was basically ran down by a mob, by what the dude was, like an ex-sheriff or something. So, but anyway, freaking all the rest of them, all police shootings, all freaking black people who have died at the hands of cops, and black people were basically sitting back saying, yo, we sick of this shit. This shit's been happening for far too damn long. Basically, the first time we seen on TV, not in our lives, because we've been seeing this shit since fucking forever, but the first time that white people and everybody else got to see this shit in color was when Rodney King was being beat down on the streets of LA. So when we saw that, white people started thinking, damn, y'all get beat the fuck up by police officers for no damn reason? Yes, just for driving. We drive down the street and we get pulled over for fucking nothing because we fit a fucking description. Like, it's insane. And I go over in the video of how I was stopped for no damn reason when I was living in Oxford, Pennsylvania, and the cops saw that I was holding grocery bags that I just came from the store, And when he held up his phone to my face and I saw after he was done seeing if I was the guy, the motherfucking dude was light skinned. I'm looking at the dude like, what the hell are you doing, yo? Like, do you think this looks like me? This light skinned dude? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, I couldn't tell. Like, what? You couldn't tell? Motherfucker, I don't care if we in the dark and it's just a lonely street lamp right there. You can tell that I'm fucking dark skinned, and the man in the picture in the mugshot is fucking light skinned. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what are you, stupid? Like, it. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the logic that goes behind these investigations and shit like that. And there's plenty of people
Understand the facts
that
of this case.
that are sitting here freaking saying that it was a clean shooting and all this and blah 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 blah. Like, you can tell that Candace Owens just came up with a damn video the other day talking crazy, and I'm gonna show you all that bullshit. Fucking Charles Barkley and Shaq said some bullshit, and I'm gonna show you all that if y'all ain't seen it about this whole thing. We've been sitting here waiting for basically since March, 7 months from what happened in Louisville, Kentucky with this Breonna Taylor shit, and we just now understanding what they want to tell us. But we've been sitting here knowing what the hell's been going on since the information came out. Countless YouTubers and people on social media has been doing countless videos and countless blogs about this. We already know the facts. But y'all sitting here thinking, oh, well, they're not in law enforcement, so they don't understand the ins and outs of how this goes. Motherfucker, if you see the cops enough and they're in your neighborhood freaking doing investigations and stuff like that, you tend to understand what the hell they do. You tend to understand that when you get pulled over and they ask you to get out the car so they can check that they're planting drugs in your car. But, you know, cops say that they don't do that. But whatever. Let's go on.
They know our community and the Commonwealth better than we do, but they don't. Let's not give in to their attempts to influence our thinking or capture our emotions. At the end of the day, it is up to us. We live here together. We work here and raise our families here together. I urge those protesting on the streets to remember this. Peaceful protests are your right as an American citizen. Instigating violence and destruction are not.
That wasn't the protesters. That was inciting violence and stuff like that. That wasn't the protesters. Protesters was peacefully protesting. The day of when the whole world was protesting about all this stuff. I was on this girl's live on Facebook, and I was sitting there asking her questions because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just woke up one morning and everybody's protesting. People's protesting in my town. People's protesting in neighboring towns and all around the country. So I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I just started asking her questions while she was on live. I'm like, hey, what's this about? Like what's going on? And she basically told me we're protesting because we're tired of all the police shooting and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I can get down with that because it has been some bullshit that's been happening lately, and they tend to cover everything up. So I'm cool with what y'all doing. Like, keep going, because y'all are doing it the right way. Y'all are blocking highways so cars can't come. So basically, that messes up commerce and economics, and people can't get home and stuff like that. That's basically what the civil rights movement was supposed to do. So, you know, they they did the bridge march, but the main goal was to block highways and stuff like that and protest in the meaning of we're tired of this shit and we want change. Which you know what I'm saying, when when we get all these documentaries about certain certain events that happen in the civil rights movement, like they're not even told by us. They're not even told by the people that was actually there, that was actually feet on the ground, talking to Dr. King, and you know what I mean, doing the day to day. Like you might get some of them that come in and they talk about what they did and stuff like that, but you don't get the true story because all these cuts and edits and stuff like that they don't want to put in the video. So big up to the Guardian for that video. So now I'm gonna show y'all. It's a 4-minute video of the officers that was involved in the shooting.
The only officer charged in connection with Breonna Taylor's killing pleading not guilty in court today. Brett Hankison was arraigned on wanton endangerment charges for the gunshots that ended up in the apartment next to Breonna Taylor's, putting her neighbors at risk, not for Taylor's death. NBC News correspondent Gabe Gutierrez joining me now from Louisville, Kentucky. Gabe, what else happened at that hearing today?
Hi there, Allison. Well, that arraignment just wrapped up a few moments ago.
Wait a minute. That lady didn't lose her job? Y'all don't remember that lady? Let me go back. Go back some more. She didn't lose her job? Y'all don't remember when Kobe died? It was her that basically said the Los Angeles Lakers, and everybody was all upset because we deliberately knew what the fuck she was saying, calling us niggers. Well, like what the fuck, yo? Like, she just keeps her job. All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
What else happened at that hearing today?
Hi there, Allison. Well, that arraignment just wrapped up a few moments ago, and as you mentioned, Officer Brett Hankison, former Officer Brett Hankison, I should say, pleaded not guilty. That's what we expected him to do. His attorney had been saying for several days that he'd do that. Hankinson is now out on $15,000 bail, and the judge set a pretrial conference for late October. Also, his lawyer had requested that he be allowed to have a weapon while he was out on bail. The judge denied that request. Hankinson's attorneys.
All right, so I'm gonna give y'all some game real fast. Some game that I was taught. So you know how you don't, when these cops get investigated and they get thrown in jail and then they just magically come out because they got the money for it, or people set up some type of fund to where they get them out, or the police station that they work for get them out. What was taught to me was when you go to sue these police, and we all know about what's that law called where cops can't get sued for wrongdoings and shit like that. I forgot the word for it. So it's something immunity or whatever. So what you do when stuff happens like that, and this is the shit that I've been hearing, and this is the shit that I've been reading into, and hopefully that is true. So if any of you guys run into something like this, that y'all can do the same. They have a bond. Every police officer has to get a bond. I'm guessing it's like an insurance policy, just in case if they get killed on duty or something like that. There's some kickback for the families and stuff like that. So what you do, and they can't work without it. So if you sue their bond, they can't work. So if you guys ever come into contact with any of this foolishness, look into I forgot the word of what the dude used, but search police bonds or something like that, I think it is. And then look into all that information of how like cops can't work and stuff like that. When it comes to us. Let's get back to the video.
Saying that both Hankinson and the attorney himself had received threats in this case. Now, Allison, this comes several days after that controversial grand jury decision last week where Brett Hankinson was charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment, not for causing the death of Breonna Taylor, but for firing bullets that ended up in a neighboring apartment. The other 2 officers involved in that March raid.
Why wouldn't he be charged for Breonna Taylor's death? So he's basically being charged for the attempted deaths or murders of the neighbors. Like, what the hell is that all about? Like, why can't he just be indicted for the death of Breonna Taylor? Because it wasn't a clean shooting at all. It wasn't by the books at all. What the fuck, man? What the hell is going on? All right, let's keep going.
At Taylor's apartment were cleared of any state charges, and that upset many protesters here as well as Breonna Taylor's family. They are now demanding that the Kentucky's Attorney General release the transcripts from those grand jury proceedings. However, Attorney General Daniel Cameron says he won't do that because there's a pending FBI civil rights investigation as well as the ongoing criminal case against Hankinson. Allison?
Gabe, Vice News is saying that leaked body cam video from the Louisville Metro Police Department shows what happened after Breonna Taylor was killed. Now, that video has not been verified by NBC News or the Louisville Police. We don't know who leaked it to Vice, but it looks like it shows Officer Hankinson entering Taylor's apartment while investigators are inside working the scene. Gabe, people across the country, including Taylor's family and protesters, calling for transparency in this case. What are you hearing about this video?
Yeah, Allison, that is from the...
Why is it hard for our tax dollars that we pay and that it goes into the paychecks of these police officers? Why isn't it that when citizens who pay taxes and pay their salary, when we ask questions about shit, they can't tell us nothing? But then again, they'll blatantly lie about something, and then when we ask questions, they don't know what the fuck we talking about. They can't answer anything. They can't talk to us about nothing. What the hell is all that about? My cousin, and if y'all go to that video of what I'm talking about, I'll tell y'all the name of the video. So the name of the video is The Country That Racism Built, I think it was. The country that racism made. That's what the video is called. And what I say in that video is that, in short, they don't give a fuck. And I also say in the video about my cousin that got shot, Terry Garnett Jr., by a rookie police officer, and he had only been on the job, I think, for a year or two. And he shot my cousin in the head because from the police report, it said that my cousin wasn't following the officer's commands. And I think his children, my little cousins, was in the car when the shit happened. shit is baffling, dog.
Public integrity, we understand, Vice News reporting that over the weekend. We have obtained other videos, including one from a different angle that a neighbor had as part of another investigative file that shows a different angle of the scene right after the raid, where Kenneth Walker, Taylor's boyfriend, was being yelled at by officers to walk backwards with his hands up. Now, yes, that particular body camera that you're referencing does show the aftermath of that shooting scene. It appears to show that. And LMPD has repeatedly said that there is no video of the actual shooting, but all these body camera videos that are now being released of the aftermath.
Why isn't it no video of what they did? The part where they're showing the police cam footage of them after the fact. Excuse me. Why isn't it that we get to see the part of the tape that they deleted or they retracted so they wouldn't show what they actually did? See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. Where they're basically just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And not only, like I said, is the tax-paying people giving money to taxes, so then the state can then funnel that money to every single freaking every single police department or whatever. Like, why is it that we don't get to see of what y'all heard, that there's a database of where all this stuff goes, and then it's there for like a month's time or something like that, and the public can go to whatever website, I guess whatever state website, to view that stuff. But they're only gonna show us what they cut in and cut out of the video. They're not gonna actually show us the full damn video, because the police departments would then be at fault for their wrongdoings. It's crazy. I'll go on to the Candace Owens shit. See what this funky bitch said.
All right, everybody.
Already some bullshit. You see her face? Already some bullshit. Let's go.
Hello, hello. Time to have one of those little chats, because it seems that the Black Lives Matter narrative is getting more and more ridiculous every single day. And here we have a stunning case, Breonna Taylor, where actually every single piece of information that was provided us through the media was an absolute lie.
Of course. Of course it was. You're not telling us nothing new. I'm sorry.
It's an absolute lie, but actually nothing that they told us about this case was true. If you have been following this case from the beginning, we have been told that Breonna was an EMT, was living life the right way. The police officers showed up accidentally to the wrong door and shot her while she was asleep. All of it, a lie. Not even one part of it's true. Not one piece of that was true. First and foremost, Breonna Taylor was not an EMT. She had been in the past, but she had to step away from being an EMT because a car that she had rented all the way back in 2016 was involved in a homicide.
Now, from what I heard, that part is true. It was a body found in that car that she had rented. That part I know to be true, but like, what would she have to do with that homicide? Now, there's a couple scenarios that I can throw out. She rented the car to the drug dealer dude. The name slipping me. I forgot. And he then takes the car, does his bullshit, and then the car or whatever So then the car. I'm sorry, some shit popped up on my screen. But yeah. So that happens or whatever. You know, she gets the car for him. He he does the homicide or whatever, and then gives the car back, and shit like that. The other thing that I can say about that is that another scenario is that she didn't know that that car had a body on it, and she just rented the car. And little did the service, the rental service, know that somebody did some bullshit with that car. So you know what I'm saying? Like there's there's nothing really that can be said about why she was involved in something that she probably didn't have nothing to do with. And then the cops are showing up at her house with basically a no knock warrant, and then she gets killed in the fray. So, like, all right, let's see what else she has to say.
That was being investigated. A homicide which involved her boyfriend, the one that was a drug dealer, her ex-boyfriend at the time that she has been killed, Jamarcus Glover. This is all about a very intricate drug ring that the police officers had been following for years in this town that Breonna Taylor was unfortunately at the center of. Now, I'm going to say a sentence that nobody is going to care about because the media, when you tell the truth, always ignores this sentence. Breonna Taylor did not deserve to die. It's common sense. She was mixed up with the wrong people. It's unfortunate that she's dead. You know, this is one of those instances when you're growing up and your parents tell you not to hang out with the wrong people because you can end up in the wrong circumstances and you can get yourself into trouble. This is something.
We don't see people that sell drugs or you know what I mean that do bullshit as bad people. They're either family members or people that we grew up with. Like we know the bullshit that they get into, and we tell them, you know what I mean, we don't want to be a part of nothing that they got going on, but you know what I'm saying, you still my homeboy. So it's not nothing. It's not about hanging around with the wrong people. It's about knowing right from wrong, from what to do. Like I'm pretty sure Breonna Taylor grew up in a good household. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I'm pretty sure she had a good head on her shoulders. She was an EMT and shit. So you know what I mean. Like I don't understand when people say that. Like you hanging around the wrong people. Like 9 times out of 10, we know we're hanging around the wrong people, but we're not involved in nothing that they got going on. Like, it's plenty of people who work 9 to 5s that got a favorite drug dealing cousin in their family. Like, I don't understand what the hell they talking about. Let's keep going.
That we learn when we're children, when you become a teenager, when your parents are trying to guide you, make sure you don't hang out with the wrong people or fall into the wrong crowd, as we like to say. But for whatever reason, this is no longer being held as a norm for Black America. It doesn't matter if we're hanging in the wrong crowd. It doesn't matter if we're actively helping our boyfriends move drugs, which is what Breonna Taylor was actually doing, okay? This is the truth. You can head and you can read all of the police investigative reports. It doesn't matter that the police had an actual warrant to be at her place, that they had been trailing her, that her name was on the warrant when they showed up at her place.
It's probably because when there's a warrant, I think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. When there's a warrant and there's a person that they're looking for in that warrant, they basically put their last known address. So if Jamarcus Glover's last known address was Breonna Taylor's last known address, then yes, she would be involved in what's going on. But at the same time, Jamarcus did not live where Breonna lived at. He probably was getting mail and shit, probably because, you know, he probably ain't have nowhere to go. I'm not covering for him, but at the same time, it's you know what I mean? Like it's common sense, man. Like just use common sense.
It was not the wrong address. Everything Amelia told you was a lie. The police officers had every right to be at her property. They had been monitoring that property for weeks. They had a poll camera watching every single thing that that group of people did because they were involved in meth, crack cocaine, they were moving drugs, and Jamarcus Glover was the person who was at the center of it, okay? That's the truth. You were told that the police officer shot her while she was asleep. No, she was standing in a hallway, right? You were told that she had nothing to do with anything and it was all an accident. It was not an accident, okay? She was knee deep in drugs.
How the fuck you know that? We don't even know that. So where's she getting her information from? We don't know if Brianna was involved in drugs. We don't know. So Candace's blatant disrespect of the dead, number one, and her funky bitch attitude, number two, like, this shit ain't cool, yo. Like, especially for somebody like her. If y'all don't know Candace Owens's history, I think when she was either in high school or college, some white boys was had did something to her. So she was all black then, like she wanted justice for that shit or whatever. But, you know, fast forward to time, she gets married to a white guy. Her fucking her wedding pictures had motherfuckers wearing MAGA hats and shit. Like, that was the theme of her shit. So like I don't understand this woman. Like, she's like she's a basket case, and I can't even look at no more of that shit, to be honest. Like,
so Dr. Carson, this is
fuck it. Let's go back to it. Where am I at?
All right, her ex-boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover, got arrested back in 2018. They actually recorded their jail conversations between her and the entire network of the people that were moving drugs through the neighborhood, okay? He was asking her to do things in his place. She was involved, and she was also made it very clear that she was worried because she loved him so much that he was going to end up in serious trouble.
She was in a relationship. Yes. I can say you can love someone else when you're in a relationship. I can say that. But it's not you have a deep rooted love for them. You just got love for them. You're not in love with them. You just have love for them. So yes, she probably didn't want to see Jamarcus get hurt with the activity he was in or whatever. And she probably wanted him not to, do whatever he was doing. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Anybody does that. A mother does that to protect her child. You know what I mean? If they in a life like that, basically tell them every time that they see him, yo, like, when are you gonna stop doing this? Like, I don't want to come to your funeral one day. Like, it's always a mother or and a father too that tells the child that the life that they lead only ends up in two places: dead or in jail. It's simple knowledge.
One day. Unfortunately, she didn't worry enough about herself and what trouble she was going to be in one day. This is a case that comes down to personal responsibility. Of course, the most important part about this case, which no one is talking about, is that they fired first. They shot a police officer, and I shouldn't say they.
That's a lie. Ballistic reports show that her boyfriend, what's his name, Kenneth Hall, he never hit the cop. He shot a round or two, but he never hit the cop. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Maybe she should just shut the fuck up. All right.
Say the guy that she was with at the time, Kenneth Walker, fired and shot a police officer before hiding behind her and running to the back of the house. And she then took all of the bullets from the returning police officer as they were standing in a hallway side by side next to each other. So the police come, they knock on the door, okay? And they say police. Why do we know that's true? Because Kenneth Walker himself verified that him and Breonna Taylor heard the knock at the door, and the neighbors came outside to speak to the police officers.
Shout out to all the dudes named Kenny out in the world.
Neighbors have verified that the police officer said it's the police. Okay? Now, you hear people who have white guilt, and they say, this people doesn't matter. How do they know it was the police? I don't know. Let's shoot first and ask questions.
That's not what happened. Who shoots a shot at a door and nobody knows who's behind the door? Cops break in, door flies open, click, clack, bow, and then returning fire. That's just anybody who owns a gun. Somebody's trying to break in my house, I have to defend myself. I have the constitutional right to defend myself. It's number 2. It's right after number 1, which is freedom of speech. So number 2, I have to protect number 1 and all the rest of them with my gun. So what she's saying is basically lies. I'm gonna play probably, I don't know, a minute more of this, and then we gonna hop into the Charles Barkley shit. So let's go.
Later, I wouldn't know it was the police if you knocked and said the police. Okay, would you grab your gun and fire at them? Wouldn't you look out the window, check the peephole to see what's going on?
Nobody knocked.
Where the police
so you wouldn't know.
Officers barge into your house, which they have a right to do because they have a warrant on them. Do you understand that Breonna Taylor is dead? That is sad.
Breonna Taylor is dead because of negligence, not because of some bullshit that the cops thought. So, you know, whatever.
It's the fault of Kenneth Walker for firing at a police officer. Black Lives Matter started at the principle that unarmed black Americans were being shot and killed for no reason by police officers. We have now dramatically shifted the narrative to Black Lives Matter, which means even when a black American is armed, shoots a police officer, the police officer has a warrant to arrest and to inspect that property and take drugs, still, the black American is somehow a victim. That is pointedly ridiculous. Let me also tell you something else. It is the bigotry of low expectations. Stop believing.
It's the bigotry of law enforcement. What? Yes. It's the bigotry of law enforcement. I think in the video I did of Ahmaud Arbery, which is called Let Me Say Something, I think I play a montage of videos. One of those videos, which happened in the very beginning, was a video of these guys I know that live in the town I live in. So luckily nobody got killed, but we see the harassment that the cops do. Because basically the backstory to that is that the cops was driving and they saw them sitting in a car, which I don't understand. How's that suspicious activity? They were sitting in the car just hanging out. It was a hot day that day, number one, so, you know, who wants to be in the house? Especially if you're young, you trying to see, like, what's going on. Like, you trying to make moves. Like, you trying to, you know what I mean, call people up to see what's happening. So either you can go out and hang over somebody else's house or see if they want to drive somewhere. Like, I don't understand their logic on shit sometimes. Like, it's crazy. So let's see what this Charles Barkley shit got going on.
The breakfast of bitches. Today for Friday, September. Situation like this, could we deal with the reality of the situation? Could we? Is a law?
You know, we do have to take into account that her boyfriend.
He was on TNT last night, and he had this to say in regard to the Breonna Taylor verdict. Let's listen.
I'm worried that we lump all these situations in together, and I feel just bad the young lady lost her life, but you know, we do have to take into account that her boyfriend did shoot at the cop and shot a cop. So, like I say, even though I'm really sorry she lost her life, I don't think that we can just say we can put this in the same situation with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I just don't believe that.
You can put that in the same respects of Ahmaud and George Floyd. You can. Like, I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. Like, it happened the same way. So, okay, every other person didn't have, let's say, a no-knock warrant or a warrant at all. Like it was all just police being assholes on the job and killing people because they had a bloodlust that day. Or they wanted to satisfy their bloodlust because they haven't got to kill anybody in a while. So, what is it that Charles Barkley is saying that he feels as though is the truth? Like, he's basically saying fuck shit right now. Like, I don't understand. And I hope they say what Shaq said, because Shaq, basically, because we all know Shaq's a law enforcement officer, so he basically doubled down on everything. Like, it was a clean shooting, blah, 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 blah. So let's see what happens.
Charles, in the words of me, Leonard McKelvey, but I guess now Dave Chappelle, since he used this phrase the other night at the Emmys, shut the F up forever. Okay. But if you're going to talk about a situation, thought someone was breaking into his house, there is not a gun owner person on the planet, all right, especially here in America, who would not have done the same thing. He literally fired a single shot, one shot downward to scare what he thought was intruders.
Thanks, Charlemagne. He basically said what the hell I've been saying the whole entire time. I don't understand the logic of Charles Barkley right now. I don't like what the hell is happening? What the hell is happening here? So, amidst all this, like I said, there's been protests and stuff like that. So, three groups have formed over this time. We have Black Lives Matter, which I got a video on that, of everybody who shouts Black Lives Matter. I need y'all to hear what this lady says about Black Lives Matter. And I'll discuss with Black Lives Matter, when you go to their website with their about page, everything that she shows in the video of how she saw the information on their page, that stuff ain't there no more. So, Charles Barkley, in the words, like Charlemagne said, in the words of Dave Chappelle, shut the fuck up forever. And to be honest, with Shaq, how do you hate Shaq? Like, how do you hate Shaq after what the fuck he said? Like I'm having a hard time with what Shaq said, because growing up, Shaq was my favorite basketball player, next to Allen Iverson. Like, I don't know, man. So, like I said, three groups have formed over the span of what, the past decade or so. So, you got Black Lives Matter. You got the Not Fucking Around association or movement or whatever the hell they're called. And then you got what the hell is that lady's name? Something Mallory. Anika Mallory or whatever the hell her name is called. she has her group Until Freedom. So these are basically Black Lives Matter and Until Freedom is basically the new civil rights movement. You basically back then you had the civil rights movement and you had the NAACP. This is basically a mirror of what they did. So with the Not Fucking Around movement, they're basically the new Black Panthers or whatever. So you got these three groups that spawned because of black people not getting the justice that they seek. Like we've been asking for years. We've been asking for years since the civil rights movement and before then. Like we just want to be equal. Just want our just due. We want our reparations for us building this country, and we just want enough land to ourselves to where we won't get bothered. We want to stay out of y'all's way, but we just want our freedom and the freedoms that we should have. Like we're no longer property, so why the fuck are we still living in a life of squalor? Like it's crazy. So the NFAC, they had their march down in Georgia on Stone Mountain. And excuse me. From the videos I saw, it was a white militia group that basically broke that shit up. They came down to the to Stone Mountain and basically told them to cease and desist all activity. We don't want this here, and we want you guys out. And if you look, search on Google, NFAC the NFAC gets, I guess, schooled by a white militia group, whatever, and you'll see that they sitting there on the grass, basically in protest against the white militia group. Like what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all got notice of the KKK basically stating that they was gonna shoot black people the day of the 4th or something like that. So NFAC was like, all right, cool. We gonna show up, and when you start shooting black people, because we gonna be the only black people that you see, when you start shooting, we gonna return fire. But that didn't happen. They basically, it looked like they gave up when you see the video. Looked like they gave up. So I don't know where we supposed to be at with this. Like, you said something that y'all was gonna do, but then y'all don't do it. Yes, there wasn't any fire towards you guys, but then guys don't do anything when the white militia group comes up. Now, I can see the leader of both groups having a conversation of what to do. That's understandable. But then you see the white militia group come, you guys sit down and protest with your guns and whatever. Now the leader, Grandmaster Jay, he's been on countless podcasts, and I saw him on Lord Jamar and Rod Digger and Godfrey's Yadameen podcast. So if y'all go to that video, you'll see him talking about everything that the group is about, what type of people that they allow in the group, what type of people that they don't allow in the group, and how they're not in cahoots with, I think it's the Black Gun Owners Association, which is like it's just like the what the hell is that damn white gun called? Damn, I hate when I blank on shit. But it's the National Rifle Association or whatever. The NRA, yeah, the NRA. They're basically just like the NRA, but they're the black version of the NRA, basically. So, um, they're not in cahoots. They don't want nothing to do with that group. They're their own thing. They don't want to be, uh, they don't want to be like, you know what I mean, like we're all together and we're all the same group. Like they don't want that at all. So, um, with that being said, I'm gonna go back over to the video and I'm gonna show y'all the video of the new civil rights movement.
So, Dr. Carson, this is the historic March on Washington, of which you were a part. Can we see you in here?
I was probably right about there.
About 250,000 people marched on Washington in August 1963, including civil rights activist Claiborne Carson. It was one of many protests against segregation and other forms of legal discrimination during that era.
I was 19 years old. I didn't tell my parents I was going. For me, this was an event that was long overdue.
There was that sense of urgency.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what King spoke to, is the urgency of now. There comes a time when people get frustrated at the slow pace of change.
Today, more than 50 years later, there seems to be a new sense of urgency. Images and videos of Mike Brown, Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, and others sent shockwaves through communities across the country and inspired a new generation of activists demanding justice.
One of the moments that really hit home for me was when Trayvon Martin was killed and George Zimmerman was acquitted. I saw myself in Trayvon Martin. You know, I was the kid who every single day would walk home, stop at 7-Eleven, buy some candy and a sweet tea. The reality that at any moment somebody could have come up, attacked and killed me, and the justice system wouldn't have done anything, it hit home.
That's right, because Zimmerman still today, he walks free. And not only does he walk free, this motherfucker goes and signs Skittle bags and I think Arizona iced teas when people see him. And nothing has been done yet to him. And I understand that his dad doesn't want to see anything happen to George George Zimmerman. And he wants everybody to back off and not do anything, but that's not the generation that I come from. The millennials, the Generation Xers, like, that's not what we do. We don't let shit go. Now, we never see George Zimmerman anywhere, so we don't know where he is, because I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that wants to see something happen to him. And I'm not inciting no violence against anybody. All I'm saying is that it was a fucked up act of what he did, and then when it comes to us, when in justice, we don't get it. He got to walk free off of the Stand Your Ground law in Florida. Stand Your Ground law in Florida. It's one in Pennsylvania. It's a lot of them everywhere. I think Maryland has it too. So he walks free, and you know what I'm saying? Like, Trayvon Martin hurt because he still was in school. But what hurt even more was Michael Brown's killing, because both of them happened right after each other, just like with Breonna Taylor and all that. They basically happened right after each other. that's when I started hurting. That's when my ears started going up. Like I need to start paying attention more to this stuff because it's it's uh it's crazy that they're allowing this to happen and nothing gets done at all. So I don't understand, man. Like how this stuff still is happening. No laws get passed. Uh, I think I think in Louisville they stopped the no knock warrant stuff, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, man. Like let's get back to the video.
5-year-old Samson Yangwei works with a team called We the Protesters to organize activists and to use social media to affect change. Sam, you tweeted last year there were protests in over 100 cities. That hasn't happened since 1965. It's a new civil rights movement, folks. What would you say is different about today's civil rights movement?
One big key difference is the use of technology. How technology has been an instrumental tool in bringing folks together and scaling the work at a pace that really was unheard of in the 60s. The year since Mike Brown has been killed has seen over 3 times as many protests happening as 1965. And so this is a scale that really is unheard of in a...
All right. What I don't understand is that y'all saw in, I think it was Seattle, when the protests was happening. Y'all saw the cops rallying up. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their body armor and they got their shields and stuff. Well, okay, I live in Maryland, so Delaware is not too far. You know what I mean? It's not too far from me. So in Dover, when they was doing their protests, cops stood out with their body armor on, with their shields, and then they started sounding off on the bullhorn, go home, go back to your destination and stuff like that. After a while, they started shooting off tear gas. Now, and they started shooting off those rubber bullets. Now you can see that the rubber bullets and the tear gas have been killing people. They've been hurting people too, and they've been also killing people. I saw a picture of a girl who got shot with a couple rubber bullets to the face, and her whole damn face swelled up. So, like, why isn't it that the cops help out with these protests so nothing happens? But they get different orders and they start to try to clear out crowds and shooting people and stuff like that. We saw that with the dude after the young brother got killed in was it Milwaukee? He got killed. And the white boy who was a teenager, he was 17, that drove over state lines with his AR and killed 2 people. Now, what I want to say with this is that trial basically is gonna get with the white kid. He's gonna that trial is gonna be nation watched by the nation, and so is George Floyd's trials is gonna get watched by the nation. If we don't see anything to where both the cop and this young kid gets locked up for the rest of their lives, like I don't know what to say to the country. Like it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So I suggest that not only should should Washington step in with this, but I feel like if nothing is done to where we see that, okay, they're trying to make something happen. They're trying to make sure that justice gets served. If we don't see that, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. So, I'll play a little bit more of this, and then we'll get into the NFAC, and we'll move ahead.
Can you talk to me about organizing back in the 1960s? How did people organize an effective grassroots movement?
Mainly face to face. And the main, I guess, electronics we used were telephones. In fact, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee developed what they call the Watts line, and all it really was a way of making inexpensive long-distance telephone calls.
A WATS, or Wide Area Telephone Service Line, allowed civil rights workers to report threats or violence happening on the ground. Typed reports of those calls would be delivered to movement leaders and the press.
And that was a major transformation in the movement. Social movements always use the technology of their day to the maximum because social movements are all about communicating to people. That's still happening today. The only thing that's different is that it's much faster.
Sam is also using...
We can communicate now within a click of a button or a touch of a screen. So the government itself is at odds with itself because now we can share information instantly. We can go live instantly and show what's happening on the ground. And we can also now communicate between each other from here to basically Africa within a click of a button and get information out as fast as possible. So so it basically like this is good that a new civil rights movement is happening, but what I would say also with the whole voting thing, and I'll get into that, what do you want to tangibly get from all of this? Because just protesting alone ain't gonna get it. You need tangibles when it comes to it. Like, what's the tangibles? All right, so I'll play a little bit more of this, and then we'll move along.
Data to track and map instances of police violence across the country.
We've learned things that communities have been saying for a long time. We've mapped 336 black people killed by police in 2015, 313 who were killed by police in 2014. Because of the internet, we were able to actually gather this data in a way that actually ended up being much more comprehensive than the federal government has ever been able to do.
What do you think Dr. King would think about the Black Lives Matter movement, for example?
I think he would be very appreciative of the fact whenever young people are concerned about things other than themselves. That's a positive sign. I think he would have thrived in this kind of an age. He would have been very, very open to using social media. He would have had millions of followers on Twitter.
Are you hopeful?
Absolutely. We've seen over 1,000 protests take place. We've seen hundreds of thousands of people engage. We've seen 24 states sign legislation to improve police accountability. We've seen the president take executive action in order to address police brutality. All of that work has happened in the space of a little over a year.
Now, I would say that if Dr. King wasn't physically able to do any of these protests or anything, he would be the best person to give the best advice of what people should be doing now. Because, I remember, he caused this country to pass the Voting Rights Act. He also got us equal rights, and sort of. But then there's the Dr. King that nobody talks about, of how he was doubtful afterwards, after everything went through. It's a quote, and I always say it. Well, I said it on the video, but he basically said, "I feel like I've led my people into a burning house." Basically stating, I didn't know what the hell I was getting into. So we're getting what I asked for, but in a way of how they want to give it to us. So I didn't really get everybody what I wanted, what I wanted and thought that was tangible for my people. They're giving it to us the way that they want to give it to us. So that's basically it. So let's get into this video about Inside America's Black Militia Group, the NFAC.
First rank, take 2 steps forward.
This is the NFAC. Armed, aggrieved, and increasingly visible.
Y'all know what our rules of engagement are, right? You don't point out weapons at nobody, unless they point them at you.
In an America where racial tension...
I heard that tactical vest that he has on, the leader, the bald one that was talking. Get it. That vest right here. I heard that vest isn't a tactical bulletproof vest. That vest, and he has it on too. That vest is for paintball or something like that. Or airsoft guns or something like that. So I don't know. I've never seen an actual bulletproof vest in person. So he could be wearing something new. He could be wearing something that's you know what I mean, that's tactical, but from what I've heard, from what I've looked at and read and listened to, that vest isn't tactical. So we'll keep going.
In an America where racial tension is raging, the group is exclusively black, and Grandmaster Jay is the closely guarded, enigmatic leader. He's agreed to speak with us from what he calls a safe house.
The group says that it's not made up of protesters or demonstrators, that it is a black militia. And we're about to meet the leader, Grandmaster Jay. He's told us to come to a secluded location where he hopes we won't be seen.
One of my jobs is to protect the identity of our members. That is why I am the only one that speaks for the NFAC. You have folks that are veterans, that are corporate execs, that are members that don't want to have to deal in their personal life with the pressures of being a part of this organization. We're going to prove to the world that we can be just as organized, just as disciplined, just as well armed, just as determined as any standing military of any government, not as some mob in the streets that gets together on the weekends to call themselves patriots.
Why do you think it's necessary to...
I seen a video of this white militia group that meet every month. The group is in Georgia, so it's this white militia group. Well, it's not really a white militia group. It's just a militia group. They have a black member in it as well. You can see this on Vice News YouTube channel. They basically meet every month. They go over scenarios. They shoot their guns, stuff like that. They camp out for like a weekend and go over all these like tactical advances and stuff like that of, you know, if they're in certain scenarios and stuff like that. So they basically just play out scenarios of how they can further protect themselves if something happens and how to protect each other's families and stuff like that. From what we know about the NFAC, they don't really divulge too much information about their organization. All we know is that it's just a black militia group. They got big ass guns, big ass dudes, and they ain't to be fucked with. So let's keep going.
Carry weapons.
I'm not going to answer that question unless you ask that question of every other race that carries weapons, every other civilization that has gone into other countries with weapons. The police carry weapons. Weapons were invented to defend oneself. So it is only common sense that we carry weapons to to defend ourselves. It is not a question. It is a necessity.
How would you describe the state of race relations in America right now?
Pathetic. There's no other word. It's pathetic. It has deteriorated to a place that is reminiscent of the early 60s. It is reminiscent of Jim Crow. It is reminiscent of the Lynch era. It is reminiscent of the days of the Ku Klux Klan.
There's a growing face-off between armed groups in the US, but NFAC insists, unlike others, they haven't committed any crimes.
Everything that we've done has been within the confines of the Constitution. The day that the NFAC steps over the line, it will be because the line was already stepped over for us first.
Y'all remember what I said about them marching on Stone Mountain? And then that white militia group showed up and they ain't do shit? That's the line being crossed. That's that group testing your group of what you gonna do when we show up. How you gonna respond? And they respond in protest. Now, I'm not coming down on these brothers because they're doing something that's actually good to see. Like, it's actually, you know what I mean, a kid looking at this with either, you know, if he's either in a single parent household or have both parents, he can look at this and his dad or his mom can look at these guys as stand-up dudes or whatever. But you never want to lead somebody astray. Now, I would say that, like I said, the only thing we know about the NFAC is that it's a black-only militia group, and they don't fuck around. So, for everything that I could be saying about this group, like I said, I'm not coming down on them. Could be bullshit, but like I said, we don't know nothing about them. We only know as much of what the leader tells us and basically what the news drums up about him. So let's keep going.
The Black Lives Matter movement is vast and varied, but he doesn't identify with it.
It has been infiltrated by people like Antifa.
That's the group I didn't get to bring up, is Antifa. Antifa has been the ones that have been jumping off all these lootings and all these shootings and stuff like that. As far as like when it comes to like cops to civilians and stuff like that, or you know them jumping off like the looting and shit like that, them breaking stuff, spray painting BLM and shit on there. Like there's a video of, and this happened like when the protest was at its height. It was a guy that was breaking the AutoZone windows and spray painting Black Lives Matter and shit up on the concrete, and he was basically running when the protesters saw what he was doing, and they ran down on him. And not once did these people stop him to see what the hell he was up to, but they basically had it to where like he basically was telling them to back off or whatever, because I guess in his mind he thought what he was doing was right. But that was a member of Antifa. And it also was a picture floating around of a dude in all black, had a black hat on, and he had a black face covering and black shirt and all that. But they zoomed in. It was like a picture-in-picture. They zoomed in at his ear, and he had an earpiece in his ear, like the ones that like cops and the Secret Service wear, because he basically was getting orders from whoever was the commanding person of whatever the Antifa group and wherever he was at, of what to do. And that's the people that are out here with the protesters, jumping this shit off. Is motherfuckers willing to get one group in trouble so their group that's in the shadows gets all the light taken off of them. So let's keep going.
anarchists, people who come in just to destroy, not to achieve anything.
Many in the very broad network firmly reject that claim. The one thing the groups share is a desire to end racial injustice.
It is the aftermath and the incidents themselves. It's not just the fact that they shot us. It's that once we're shot, as in the case of Breonna Taylor, there's this feet dragging, there's this lack of sense of urgency.
In Louisville, Kentucky, they say they've helped peacefully push for progress, a settlement for Breonna Taylor's family, a 26-year-old killed by police, and a grand jury decision now expected imminently. What if the 3 officers involved aren't prosecuted? What will your response be?
If they decide they don't want to charge anyone, of course they've got to explain that, not only to the population that's there, but also to all of the other members of the legislature that have given this wide focus. Why? And if you can show us in the law why you couldn't do that, then we have to live with that.
Others might not. This is a year dominated by confrontation, and this week could easily bring more. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News.
So, he has the same sentiment. Well, he doesn't have the same sentiments as me, but he does, you know what I mean? If nothing happens with everything, with Ahmaud's shooting, with the guy in Milwaukee, with the guy, with Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, the guy in Milwaukee, and the white kid, and Breonna Taylor's murderers, like, the country is gonna erupt again, and we just gonna basically have it to where we don't even give a damn about the coronavirus. We're just gonna be like, nah, fuck this. We taking off masks. We rallying up. We about to get this shit cracking to where they don't take us as jokes like they think that we are. We gonna come out here and we gonna get shit going. So, yeah, so that's that group, and you showed, you know what I mean, the one video and BLM and all that. So, well, no, I haven't showed the video on Black Lives Matter yet, because this is something that I have an issue with, because when you go on to the Black Lives Matter website, let me show this video. So, when this lady down at the bottom, you see, hold on, let me see where it's at. Right here, the lady that's right here, was it right here or is it right here? I think it's right here, or whatever. Anyway, the lady at the bottom there, she's gonna go over the whole Black Lives Matter organization.
Here. 4 years ago, I did a video exposing Black Lives Matter as a Black feminist LGBT movement that is specifically used to promote the Black LGBT movement and into the Black community. And it is to remove the Black male completely out of the picture. The only way Black men are allowed, according to the founders of Black Lives Matter, which are these 3 lesbians. They are feminists and they hate you, Black men.
Yeah. I don't know that to be sure, but from what she goes over, says a lot. Shut the hell up, y'all. Alright, so we gonna get back into the video.
And I'm gonna show it to you. I'm not gonna just tell you shit. I've exposed these bitches before. And apparently I gotta expose them again because I cannot believe Black Lives Matter is about to basically coming out of your mouths again. These women hate you, Black men. The only way you're accepted into their movement is unless you're gay or you're a trans woman. That's the only way. Other than that, they do not like straight black men. Allow me to show you the proof.
Now, when she goes over this, I want y'all to pay close attention to what she said. Because I had to watch this video 3 times when I first saw it. Just to see what she was talking about wasn't no bullshit. So, like I said, I'm going to try and go into the Black Lives Matter website. I should go to it now. So, let me search the website first, and then we'll get back into the video. So, hold on. So yeah, as that's loading up, I'll play this.
So I went to their site before, okay? That's right, or did. There you go. That's right, or did. I went to their website before, and I have exposed them before, right? Hold on, let me just show you. Let me just show you I'm on their site. Okay, this is their site. This is Black Lives Matter site. Okay. All right. Now, here you have the about. If you go
now, I want y'all to pay close attention to that about, because when I go into it, y'all gonna see what the difference is. All right, I'm gonna let that load up, whatever. So, all right. So, y'all see the website, y'all see the about or whatever. So I'm gonna rest my cursor here, and then I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back. Well, just the about's right there, and then I'm gonna go back into the video.
You guys see that? Yeah, you can. So if you go to their website and you click on the about.
All right, y'all see how many bars there are? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars that sit right there. One of them is what they believe, I think it is. The other one is her story or something like that. So I'm gonna let her explain it.
You got another co-founder, and these are nothing but black women who are also lesbians, and they hate black men. They have no interest in black men. So you have the co-founders, which are 2 black women, are lesbians. And you have 3 of the founders who are lesbians, and they all don't like straight black men. So then you got her story. What the fuck does her story have to do with black?
Now, y'all see the 5 bars. I'm about to go back to the website and hit the about. What's different? You got Black Lives Matter, about Black Lives Matter. You got 6 years strong, and then you have her story. Now, to go back to the video, you see that she has 5. So, we can do the math or whatever. So, you have about Black Lives Matter. You have the 5 years strong. You have her story. You have, I can't even see that, hour something. I can't read that. But I'm going to let her explain everything.
Lives Matter. Don't worry about it. Let's go to what we believe. This is my favorite part. Y'all ready?
Yeah, what we believe, right? That's the second bar down. You don't see that here no more. This is the page now. What she did, I don't know when she did the video, but you don't see what we believe. You just have about Black Lives Matter, 6 years strong, and her story. So let's go back to the video.
Believe. If you still fuck with Black Lives Matter after I show you what they really think about you, you deserve everything you get. Let's click on it. What we believe. So
I
once
can't
you
even
get through
click
all
on it
this
because
bullshit
it's not
about
there no more.
Trayvon Mountain and we hear Black Global, blah blah blah. Then we get down to their agenda. Let's read it. We see ourselves as part of the global black family. That's communism. I'll talk about that later. And we are aware of the different ways we are impacted or privileged as black people who exist in different parts of the world. We are guided by the fact that all black lives matter regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity, gender identity, gender expression.
Well, never mind.
Black folks, what does Black Lives Matter have the fuck to do with sexual identity, gender identity, and gender expression? Oh, don't worry, I'll tell it to you. Economic status. Communism. They don't want there's no such thing as poor or rich. Everybody got to be all fucked up on one payment scale. I'll talk about that later. Ability and disability, religious beliefs or disbeliefs, immigration status or location. Isn't immigration fucking up the black community as it is? I do believe that Compton is no longer black anymore because of immigration.
I wouldn't know that to be true, but I don't live in California.
We make space for transgender brothers and sisters to participate and lead. Let me say it again, just in case you niggas forgot how to fucking comprehend words. We make space for transgender brothers and sisters to participate and lead. Do you know that you cannot be a straight black male or even a straight black female and hold a leadership position in the Black Lives Matter organization? Did you not know this? If you're straight, you have no need for them except when they want you for muscle, when they want you to riot and get shot and to sit up here and get killed and do all kinds of vandalism and this, that, and that. They want you as foot soldiers because you're expendable. But you will never hold leadership position as somebody straight. They call us cis.
Now, I don't understand that terminology. You know, the cisgender thing and all that. But I did go over that in a video. I didn't go over the full thing, but I went over it a little bit. I don't understand. Like, I understand what it means, but I don't understand what they're trying to say about it. But whatever.
Let's go on and continue to read. We are self-reflective and do work required to dismantle cisgendered privilege. Now,
what the hell is that? I'll run it back. I'll run it back.
Will never hold leadership position as somebody straight. They call us cis. Let's go on and continue to read. We are self-reflective and do work required to dismantle cisgendered privilege. Now, those of you who don't know what cisgendered privilege means, it means biologically straight. It means you are a straight man or a straight woman. They have no need for anyone who is heterosexual in their movement, and they do not promote heterosexuality in the black community. And uplift black trans folks, especially black trans women, who continue to be disproportionately impacted by trans antagonistic violence.
Now,
so when y'all go out there and tell us
when she gets to the juicy part, that's when I'll stop the video.
This is what you're fighting for.
But when she gets to the juicy part, That's when I'm
build
gonna stop it.
a space that affirms black women. Hey, where's black man at? Just black women? Aren't we having a problem with the matriarchy as it is? We build a space that affirms black women and is free from sexism, misogyny, and environments in which men are centered. Ah! You hate to see it, don't you? You hate to see it. And you niggas are going out there and you're dying for these motherfuckers. Okay? You hate to see it. How could you be so stupid? But see, here's the deal. Here's the deal. They know what they're doing. They're hiding you. A lot of you all don't understand how fucked up communism is. We practice empathy. We engage comrades. By the way, comrades is communism. I'm going to show you. A lot of you all don't understand how fucked up communism is. I'll explain that when we get to Antifa in a minute. With the intent to learn about and connect with their context, we make our spaces family friendly and enable parents to fully
This is the
participate with
juicy
their
part, yo.
children. We dismantle the patriarchal practice.
Why? Why do you want to dismantle the patriarch? Like, what does that mean? Alright, I'm gonna run that back.
We make our spaces family friendly and enable parents to fully participate with their children. We dismantle the patriarchal practice. We dismantle the patriarchal practice that requires mothers to work double shifts bullshit so that they can mother in private, even as they participate in public justice work. And here's the last hold on. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family, meaning that they don't want the man in the home with the children unless he's a transsexual woman or he's gay.
Need I play more? Need I play more? Their whole practice is basically what the government did back in the 60s and the 70s when they kicked the man out the house and then it was just a woman left to fend for her and the children, and then they get welfare and stuff like that. Now, if you're a single mother, I am not coming at you at all. If you work a job, you got a career, do your thing, take care of your kids. But if you are out here protesting in this stuff right here, which was on the website, which is no longer on the website, as you can see, the About page doesn't have all that no more. So I'm going to click out of this. So y'all screaming Black Lives Matter, but it's baffling to see this because the people who created the group don't even believe in Black Lives Matter. That means all Black lives. That means man, woman, children, and I would say gay, straight, and transsexual. So, like, they want to dismantle the patriarchal practice and get rid of the Western type of or whatever. It's all right there. So I'll let this go until 9:30. So
you heterosexual men do not belong in the home of a nuclear family. We already have a problem. We already have a problem of men not being in a home. And these fucking bitches right here are trying to make sure that it's that way. How could you even utter the...
See? That's what I'm talking about, man. And I'll say this. The day of, when the protest was kicking off, my homeboy called me. And he told me that I should be out there. And he was right. I should have been out there. But it was something in me that said, stay your ass home. Because when I saw this video, which was probably like 2 weeks later, me myself personally, I would have felt dumb. Because if I had read that for myself and I would have participated in something where they don't even give a fuck about who I am and what I am, like, I can't do it. Like, I can shout something else instead of Black Lives Matter. I can shout, you know what I mean, something else that I would feel more comfortable with. But shouting Black Lives Matter, I do understand Black lives do matter, but I'm not gonna say it in the context of what that was, of what I saw and what I read on that page that she had. Like I will shout something that has something black in it, but it's not gonna be Black Lives Matter, just for the simple fact that they don't give a fuck about me. So, moving along to get out of that. So, okay, so if you haven't heard, there was these 19 families that had bought like 90 some odd, like 96 acres of land in Georgia that was just sitting there. It's also a town in Georgia that is going for like 1.5 mil. So like, I don't know if that is that town, but they bought this town or this land, and they're gonna build stuff on it. It's gonna be like a black. Think about Black Wall Street, and that's probably gonna be something similar to it. So I'm gonna play the video.
We are the buying power. If we can just teach each other to circulate our dollars within the community, we will solve our own problems.
Now, when she said that, circulating black dollars, if you do the statistics, a black dollar only circles in its community only one time. And in the Jewish community, I think it's like 15 times. Chinese communities like 30 some odd times, something like that. The black community dollar only circulates in the black community one time. So, to give you an example, a black-owned business I go to is a barbershop. So I'm paying a black man to basically cut my hair, and then that's me handing him the money. What's circling in the black community one time. What he does with that money, I don't know. But it only circles in the black community one time. So let's keep going.
We are literally the answer to our own problems, but we have to change our thinking and come together. My name is Renee Walters, and I am the president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. I have a black husband, I have a black son. Every time he would leave out for work or just to go to the store or anything, I would have a sense of anxiety just from watching everything that we've been going through lately with the pandemic. And
I did too. I had some anxiety about everything that has happened with the pandemic, with all these shootings. I don't think I can get too into some stuff that's been going on at my job, but it didn't look good at first, but it looks better now, I can say. So, everybody was concerned at first, at my job, like what will happen when with the whole pandemic and stuff like that. And we had a couple stuff going on with these shootings and stuff. Like, we had group discussions and stuff like that. But it frightened me, and it caused me anxiety a little bit. So let's keep going.
Watching our black men being murdered on national television in front of everybody, it kind of just all shook us by storm. It's now time for us to get our friends and family together and build for ourselves. That's the only way we'll be safe. That's the only way that this will work. We have to start bringing each other together. Well, we are looking to get amenities on the land. We want to have a place where you can have weddings, a nice retreat. We'll have tiny homes. We really just want you to come and hang out and feel safe. You don't have to worry about the Karens of the world and anything like that. You just come and have fun. We'll have a sportsman area here with fishing, hunting, shooting range, ATV trails. We really just want to build a tight-knit community for our people to just come and breathe together. I know they have a bad stigma that, black people can't come together, but just like how Black Wall Street, their dollars circulated around 11 times before it left the community. And that's just something we want to bring back. We want to encourage businesses to come, and we want to circulate our dollar within the community before it leads out to someone else. We want to make everybody in our areas wealthy. Well, every time we go to the land and in the actual cities, like we haven't received any backlash. Everyone is really nice and welcoming. It's the internet trolls, the negativity in the world, like, oh, you guys are gonna fail. Isn't this segregation? This is not what Martin Luther King stood for. And it's not us segregating ourselves. It's just we're building where we can come and be safe. Like, Chinatown has these areas. You go up and down Buford Highway, you can't even read some of the signs because it's not in our language. And
Yes. Lots of these groups have their own like sections and cities. You have Chinatown, you have Greek Town, you got Koreatown, you got like the Jewish areas in like New York and Chicago and stuff like, and then you have areas in like in Los Angeles for like the Armenians and stuff like that. Like they have their own sections of in the city. So like, why haven't we as black folks gotten our own town? Because basically, the hood and the ghetto is not these places. Like we need actual tangible places, just like the lady said, we need our own, commercial and commerce areas and living spaces that we can be in. Because when she says isn't it segregation? No, because other ethnic groups have their own spaces in towns and cities and stuff like that they can call home or whatever. So why haven't we been able to do it ourselves at all? Like I said earlier, basically built this place. So why isn't it that we don't have our own place that we can call our own?
everybody has a problem. And why is it that when we want to build, we're considered racist or we're segregating ourselves? Why can't we have our own safe haven? Every community has them. Everyone is welcome in freedom. But it is basically based on seeing black people flourish. And that's all we want, because every time we try to, somebody tried to burn it down, or we got some type of backlash, and I'm just tired of that. It's time for us to build our own.
So, I hope something goes of that. I hope something, like she said, happens where it's, all these good, nice places to be and stuff like that. And, I hope it turns out good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would like to visit when it's all built. So what I'm gonna do, because I gotta use the bathroom. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back. So, I'm gonna hit y'all off with some music. Visit when it's all built. All right, y'all. What's up? I'm back. So we gonna get back into it, and so I want to set this next one up like this. So do y'all, if y'all watched any of my videos, I have a video that is on my channel. Which is called What You Don't Know About Pedophilia. And I did that video this year along with the video of human sex trafficking. So what I run through both videos is everything that is going on in the United States and around the world of human sex trafficking. So this group, I don't know how credible they are, but this group QAnon has been going on like a rampage of airing out all these celebrities and politicians who basically have been outed in the sense of them outing them. They have outed them to saying that they're participating and also trading children and other people. So I don't know it for it to be true, so I'm gonna say allegedly this is what they've said. So but basically in my videos I just go over just the base information of it. It's just basically me stating like what are the signs, what are the key places where this is happening. And the main place that they've triggered all this at is in Atlanta, Georgia. If y'all don't remember, what like I think it was like a few months back. They've they talked about human trafficking being prominent in Atlanta. So I'm gonna let y'all see this video, but hold on, let me get my because I'm listening in while I'm doing this. So I gotta hear what I'm doing. So all right, so I'm gonna show this video real quick. So I'm gonna get my screen back, and I'm gonna let y'all see this. So if y'all read that, over the course of 2 weeks in August, the U.S. Marshals Service carried out an Operation Not Forgotten in Georgia. So. So, I think this is the ATF and also the U.S. Marshals of Georgia. They've been staking this stuff out for a while now, and they finally caught the people. I think they caught up to like maybe, like 13 people. 13 people, I think. That was a part of it. So this one here, the next video, is a 3-minute video, and they arrested 339 people in this raid.
Hidden in plain sight, human traffickers and their victims walking among us. Operation Reclaim and Rebuild is a mission to end human trafficking and help victims caught in the system.
A lot of them, they do what they do for survival.
The statewide operation spans 3 days, 93 agencies, and requires hundreds of law enforcement officers. The LA County Sheriff's Department starts their undercover operation in unincorporated Pasadena, an area where deputies say people often go to pay for sex. These women, also known as decoys, are undercover police officers. They're waiting for Johns, or clients, to make an offer. One by one, men pull up to the curb. Once the John and decoy agree to a price, the John...
Oh, if my video is lagging, it's only because I have an old computer, so just bear with me.
...have to drive to a meeting spot, showing their intent to break the law. With conveyor belt-like efficiency, offenders are processed upstairs in a hotel room, quickly booked to make room for the next catch. On a night like this, anywhere from 20 to 40 Johns, pimps, and prostitutes will be taken to the county jail after going through that very quick booking process. The second location is even busier. We're in Compton, where the decoys are alongside actual working women. Deputies spot 3 women walking in a group. They tell us the pimp is likely just a few yards away at all times. The undercover deputies are everywhere, not only pretending to be prostitutes, but also Johns. An undercover John got one of the women to take the bait. It's only a matter of time before all 3 women from the group are in custody, and 2 of their pimps are in a patrol car. But authorities are not going after the women. They're going after the pimps and the Johns. Prostitution is illegal in the state of California and is a misdemeanor charge. So if prostitutes don't cooperate with authorities, they'll be ticketed. But if they can prove they were human trafficked through the use of force, fraud, or coercion, authorities will help them, but only if they want it.
Sometimes it takes multiple, Rad.
So, the funny thing about this video, is new law that, California just passed. So, next video I'm gonna show is this guy talking about the SB 145 bill that they put out, and that has to do more with like pedophiles, but most of the time these human sex trafficking victims sometimes are children. So this law that the dude's gonna talk about, he's gonna debunk it a little bit, but I'm gonna read it off to y'all. I'm gonna read like the first part of it to y'all. So y'all can look this bill up. It's called SB 145. It's a California law. Excuse me. And it deals more with pedophilia than human sex trafficking. But if a John is buying a prostitute that is a child, it's pedophilia at the same time. So let's get into that video.
Senator, so you presented this bill. It is heading to the governor's desk right now. Can you just sum up what this is? There's a lot of misconceptions by some people. We saw a whole bunch of comments on our Facebook page. We haven't even posted anything about this yet. It was just in the comments on the governor's press conference today. A whole bunch of people just started talking about it. But can you really just talk about what it was that you presented?
Sure. So Senate Bill 145 is an anti-discrimination law. It ends discrimination against LGBTQ young people on the sex offender registry. It is a law or a bill that is supported by law enforcement. Both the district attorneys and the police chiefs support this bill. The rape crisis centers support this bill. And Children Now, which is a children's advocacy organization, supports the bill. As well as LGBTQ civil rights organizations. Right now, there are situations where you have basically teenagers and college-age kids who are having sex, and
isn't that statutory rape? Just off the cuff, me hearing what he's talking about, isn't that considered statutory rape? Because most of the time when you're in college, you're a grown up. And then you have a high school child, which is, a grown child, but still a child at the same time. So why wouldn't that be statutory rape? So, just
straight kids
just thinking
do
out
not
loud.
have to go in the registry, the sex offender registry, but gay kids have to go in the sex offender registry. The judge has discretion to look at the facts of the case and decide whether or not to put a straight kid on the registry. But for gay kids, the judge must put the person on the registry. And this can create some really horrific situations. So if you have a situation where a 19-year-old has a 17-year-old girlfriend and they have sex, that is statutory rape. But the law right now says that the judge does not have to put that 19-year-old boy on the sex offender registry because of the kind of sex that they were having. But if it's a 19-year-old boy having sex with his 17-year-old boyfriend, the judge must put that 19-year-old on the sex offender registry, even if it was completely consensual, even if they were boyfriends, even if there was nothing coercive or predatory about it. And so this legislation, all it does is it says, let's treat the gay young people exactly the same way that we currently treat the straight young people. Let's just treat them the same.
It makes no sense. And it sounds like there's some protection in that law for said people. But let me read this bill off to y'all real fast so I can get into my next topic. SB 145, Sex Offenders Registration. Existing law, the Sex Offender Registration Act requires a person convicted of one of certain crimes as specified, to register with law enforcement as a sex offender while residing in California or while attending school or working in California, as specified. A willful failure to register as required by the act is a misdemeanor or felony, depending on the underlying offense. The bill, this is the juicy part, the bill would exempt the mandatory registration under the act a person convicted of certain offenses involving minors in the person is not more than 10 years older than the minor, and if that offense is the only one required, the person to register. So I'm saying, I'm guessing if if you are gay and you are seeing somebody that is slightly older than you, uh, this bill basically protects the person. I'm saying if they in love, I don't even want to talk about that shit. Anyway, so you know, this bill basically allows sex with minors, basically, knowing that it will be statutory rape in a sense, and also it would be pedophilia in a way because you heard it, 10, 10 years older than the minor. Why are you seeing somebody that's 10 years older than you, or why are you seeing somebody 10 years younger than you? Now check this out. Marcus got a story to tell. I dated a girl who told me that when she was 15, she was seeing a dude that was 26. And not only that, her parents allowed it. Her dad was okay with it, and her mom was okay with it. But, being stopped in the street and shit, like, that's totally different. Like, the cops don't care about that shit. The judge don't care about what the hell the parents said was okay or not. Somebody's going to jail that day. So, to get off of that and to finish this, so have y'all seen? Let me set this up. So celebrities and Joe Biden and whatever, they've been basically soliciting the black vote. They've been soliciting the black vote so much that somebody created this dumbass fucking commercial. I don't even know if I can show this commercial on my live, but I'll show a piece of it and see where my live goes, if they cut it off or not. Get your booty to the pole, 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 yeah.
Did we get your attention? Good. So, you really not gonna vote?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Like, this is crazy. I think I gotta hide this. But what the hell is that? What is that? Why is it that they having get your booty to the pole? What the fuck? Yeah, it's a double entendre. But like, for real? That's gonna get black men out the vote. And and gay black women. This is gonna get us out. Like, no, motherfucker. No. We need tangibles. We don't need freaking people telling us to come vote. What's the tangibles in it? You saw what the ladies what the lady with the Georgia thing did. They bought 96 acres of land. They want to put on that land something that make it as though that they have some sort of ownership of where they live. What like that? Like, I don't hear celebrities talking about tangibles. Like we need, well, other than Ice Cube, but other than that, well, I don't hear no other celebrity talking about what we need as a as Black Americans to to get from our vote. Like, ain't nobody, ain't none of these presidential candidates, both the President Trump and Joe Biden. And I'll play a little piece of that video of them acting like fucking buffoons at that damn debate. Freaking, like, what are we gonna get from our vote? This is what we do. And I'm glad that I'm on live now, that I can share this shit. what we need to do, we need to make some sort of a super PAC. A super PAC is what people who want certain laws and certain things to happen while a president is in office, they'll have 10 things on something. They'll raise money for it so that the president or the Senate can look at it to where they can put that stuff into place or whatever. I.e., LGBT community got their laws passed because of them doing exactly what the hell I'm talking about right now. That's the reason why they have the equal rights to marry. They have the equal rights to not be discriminated upon. They have the equal rights to not you know what I mean? Like they have all this stuff. They have all these laws to the point to where if you sneeze crazy around them, they can sue you for it. Now I'm embellishing on that, but I'm saying like that's exactly what we need to do as people, as black people. We need to come up with some sort of tangible, something to where we can get something that's tangible. A vote, soliciting a vote, that ain't gonna cut it. Just going to the polls and voting, nah, that ain't gonna cut it. What is it that you can give me to where when I go to the poll, I'm gonna think in my mind, I want to vote for this person because they said that they'll do this, they'll do that, they'll do this. And you remember when Obama was running for president, he told us all this stuff he was going to do when he got into office, and then when he got into office, he didn't do none of it. He just swept all that shit underneath the rug and act like he ain't never say it. So let's play what these fools did. This shit is ridiculous.
I want to answer the question.
Why would you answer that question?
The question is, the
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list?
You folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID?
I'm sorry.
How many of you?
I'm sorry. Y'all hear that, but y'all don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here and enjoying myself and shit. I'm sorry. Here you go.
In fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far.
How many people? This is the same man.
It's all set up.
By Easter, this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. By the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the same man.
Sarcastically,
that was
you know that.
I have 40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that, about between 750 and 1,000 people a day are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, "It is what it is, but it is what it is because you are who you are." He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew.
Add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha, and as we've seen the violence in a number of these cities.
Kenosha, Wisconsin, that's where it was. It wasn't in Milwaukee. So sorry if I said Milwaukee with the guy that got gunned down in Milwaukee. He lived, but he did get gunned down.
What are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
white
supremacists and right Proud Boys.
Stand back and stand by.
You hear that? Trump told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. Which I don't know if the video that came out, and I'm sorry that I didn't even put that video in this, where there was this white guy. He made a video where he said if Biden gets elected, then they're hitting the street and all hell about to break loose. But they said if Trump gets elected, everything gonna be cool. So I don't understand why Trump couldn't answer that question right away. But this is what we got to pay attention to. Biden was the one who wrote the 94 crime bill. Senator Harris was in California. She locked up more black men and black women than any senator in that state had ever done. Not only that, Kamala Harris ran as, I think, as Indian in California, because she's white, black, and Indian. And she did something to where it was where she that's blanking on me, but whatever the hell. Like, we want, okay, so basically again we're picking the lesser of two evils. So we got Biden and Harris, and then we have Trump and Pence. So this is where the scale has to be weighed. Would you rather Biden Biden to afflict something that cause this country more pain of something that he may drum up within his presidency? Or would you rather tolerate Trump for another 4 years? Either way, I'm scared of either outcome, to be honest. Because to me, any of them two, I don't think. To be honest, the person that we should have got in put as our, as well, not as our, but the person that we should have, that should have been there instead of Biden is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders had more tangible ideas to not only black people but young people at large, and older people too. So I don't understand. Like, this is who we gotta vote for, these two right here, and I don't really see anything between these two that I feel as though that we should be endorsing. I'm saying, personally, with the whole 94 crime bill and Senator Harris's her cracking down on truancy and stuff like that. Okay, kids should be in school, but I don't think mothers or fathers should go to jail for them being truant in school. Like, that's crazy. So this is crazy. So, all right, I'm gonna try to get this last part done as fast as possible, because I know y'all tired of looking at me. All right, so the next part I'm gonna talk about is about DJ Vlad. If y'all don't know who DJ Vlad is, just type in, and I recommend that you don't. Or I'd rather you look him up to see who he is. So DJ Vlad has a YouTube channel where he interviews actors, actresses, athletes, rappers, singers, and he also was a mixtape DJ or whatever. So he basically, in a sense, when he did a interview with DL Hughley, he okay. So this is how I'm gonna set it up. This is how I'm gonna set it up. So let me get it up on the screen too. So DJ Vlad took what Nick Cannon said from this interview that he did, and shout out to this YouTuber, We Woke Now. So shout out to him for this video. So DJ Vlad took not only this, but he took what Farrakhan has said, what Honorable Louis Farrakhan said at his speech at the Garden in Chicago. So basically what happened, and I'll let the video play for itself, but Nick Cannon basically went over what, black people, what black people are like compared to what white people are like. So let's play the video.
Like a lot of people that are coming into consciousness, where they are right now. I sat at the elders, Dr. Benz, and the John Henry Clarks, Professor Jeffries, Professor Smalls, Shashi McIntyre, and a few other people I could mention. Now I'm there, physically there, not YouTubing it.
There was no YouTube back then. Yeah.
You had to physically go there and write the notes, study.
Maybe get a VHS tape or something.
Right, and if you had 5 of them in your you making a whole lot of noise on the train. I'm saying.
Right.
All right, so to my understanding, now I want to thank Khalid El Akin from the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. He had set up a talk with a rabbi.
Right.
This is recently.
Right.
So, and I'm in front of a room full of Jewish people.
Right.
And I'm asking basic questions, and maybe you can help me out.
Right.
Let's look up the word anti-Semitic.
Right.
Who are the Semitic people? And then we're going to get to the public enemy thing. Right. So I looked up who is the Semitic people. And there's a list of Semitic people, and anyone can do this right now. You can look up who are the Semitic people, what are the Semitic languages.
Right.
Has absolutely nothing to do with any white people.
Right.
Not at all. So in order for me to be anti-Semitic, I'd have to be anti-black man, anti-black woman, anti-black people, anti-Africa, anti-all of the people.
Because the Semitic people
are black people.
Okay. So, Professor Griff said that, and then Nick Cannon goes into his spiel of what he thinks. So let me get this up further to when Nick was talking. Okay, boom.
Right.
I used to carry with 2 suitcases full of books.
Right. You weren't saying a hateful statement. You were just saying this is who controls it.
I laid out the names.
Right. Oh, so you specifically
I
said people's names.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
People's names.
At that time, because this was what, 80, 89, 90?
Yeah, about 80, 89, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you just said people's names.
And I laid it out, and I showed them books.
Right.
And I looked it up and showed it to them. This paragraph said this. These people control film industry, TV.
Let me get it up a little bit
Exactly,
further, because Nick was talking
His girlfriend.
about his point.
He came and sat down. Complexion of
So, what we're speaking of today, because they attempted to silence Minister Farrakhan. Right now, with the COINTELPRO actions and activation, they did the exact same thing to you. Why?
There we go.
This is the question that I have, and even coming from that aspect that if the true children of Israel, if we're speaking of the Jewish community, we're speaking of the Abrahamic faith that Islam comes from, that Judaism comes from, that Christianity comes from, all comes from Abraham. And we are all speaking of brotherhood and unity. Why is this division? Why is it such a problem? Why is there so much fear, specifically in the black community, in the Jewish community? And I'm kind of, this is a leading question which I want to get to, but why is it such a problem to speak the truth?
I think it's a problem it became a problem for us.
Right.
And now they identified you.
I control everything even outside of America. When we talk about corporations, when we go as deep as the Rothschilds,
All right. So,
Who he is.
sorry I had to make y'all wait so long because I forgot where the points was at too. But Nick basically gets into his little spiel of what he feels, and then I'll tell y'all how, or I'll show y'all rather how Vlad reacted.
Families, the bloodlines that control everything even outside of America. When we talk about the people who, if we were truly the children of Israel, and we're defining who the Jewish people are, because I feel like if we actually can understand that construct, then we can see that lies, the deceit, how the fake dollar controls all of this, then maybe we can get to the reason why they wanted to silence you, why they wanted to silence Minister Farrakhan, and they want to throw that we are having hate speech when it's never hate speech, when it's not.
Right.
You can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that who they want to be. That's our birthright.
That's our birthright.
All right, so he goes in more, but that's basically it. What he said. So this is what Vlad's. This is how Vlad reacted to it.
You know, I personally feel this is coming off the heels of Farrakhan's 4th of July speech. Sure. Where he said, those of you that say you're Jews, I will not give you the honor of calling you a Jew. You're not a Jew. You're so-called. You're Satan. And it's my job now to pull the cover off of Satan. And he went on to say, like, every Muslim, when they see a fake Jew, grab a rock. And this is kind of what I feel is the energy, and a lot of people look up to Farrakhan.
All right, so y'all...
All right, so Vlad basically twisted not only Nick's words, but Louis Farrakhan's words. So he basically lied. So this is the thing. So DJ Vlad did that interview with D.L. Hughley. And Vlad in the beginning of it was like I think it was like 2 or 3 interviews of different people. He laid out how he hadn't spoken to Nick about what he said. And he much rather him. Vlad would much rather himself not to speak on anything until he talked to Nick, and that he wasn't gonna say anything until he spoke to Nick, which all was lies because this is how slick this motherfucker is. And I've unsubscribed. I don't look at none of his videos no more. I'm done with him because he blatantly lied on the minister. Fuck what Nick said, and fuck what Vlad feels. But he basically made Minister Louis Farrakhan out to be a bad guy, and he twisted his words within him how he felt about it, and it wasn't even the truth. It wasn't the truth at all. So what Vlad did, he made D.L. Hughley say what he wanted to say about it. Now, this guy doesn't actually have this that part of the interview, but he basically twisted the minister's words. And I'm here to show y'all what the minister actually said about Jewish people. So here we go. We're going to go into it.
You want to see why hated.
All right, here we go.
You that say that you're Jews, I will not even give you the honor of calling you a Jew. You're not a Jew. You're so-called. You're Satan. And it's my job now to pull the cover off of Satan so that every Muslim, when he sees Satan, pick up a stone, as we do in Mecca.
So, it was more to that, but the person who edited this cut what he said off. So what the minister said after he said pick up a stone of truth, he said, and throw it at the wrongdoers, or it was something along that, and I don't want to fuck his words up either and make myself out to be the bad guy. But The key point was that he said pick up a stone and cast it at lies and wrongdoing. Something along that line. He didn't say pick the stone up and throw it at Jews, pick up a whole damn boulder and slam it over a Jew's head. He did not say that. He did not do not twist the minister's words, because the minister is usually clear in what he's saying, and he speaks in parables sometimes. That was the parable, and that's the parable that Vlad got misconstrued and fucked up. That's the reason why Godfrey ain't fucking with him no more. Royce the 5'9" ain't fucking with him no more. West Coast Cam ain't fucking with him no more. And my son, which was one of his friends, ain't fucking with him no more, because I'll show a video where Lord Jamal and Godfrey basically said that they not fucking with him no more, and he needs to apologize. And Vlad said, you know what? I'm cool. I don't really need to apologize, because last month, it was one of my best months, so I'm cool. And I really don't need y'all services anymore either. So y'all go ahead and y'all have fun with what y'all do. So whatever. And it's like the audacity of this motherfucker. But the person that called this shit out first was Corey Holcomb. And y'all seen me do a video on Corey Holcomb because people always want to be on his ass about the shit that he says. But it's like, come on now. You basically trying to make a comedian accountable for jokes that he's told. And if they were wrong, okay, so bring that to his attention. And if he doesn't feel as though that what he said was wrong, and if you digest and you sift through everything that he said and sees that it wasn't wrong, then leave it alone. But this is what Corey had to say about everything. And shout out to the Troll Father for providing me this video today.
So, I should have brought this up earlier. I wanted to bring it up earlier, but I didn't bring it up earlier because the conversation got good. We are about to give an update on fuckboy DJ Vlad.
Now, this is the second time that Corey had brought Vlad up. So, I'm going to play this video first, and then I'm going to show y'all the first video of when he made his contradiction of, not his contradiction, he made his mind up of him never ever gonna go to DJ Vlad and do an interview, and it's not on the table for him to do a DJ Vlad interview. So I'm gonna show y'all this video, and then I'm gonna show y'all the next video.
Who has been very stubborn in his apologies for trying to do dirt to a man that a lot of people respect in the black community, Minister Farrakhan. So I did a show a while ago talking about, how I felt Vlad was out of pocket trying to misquote someone and throw the thing off because he's always talking about the victims that are on his end, but here he is doing dirt, intentionally trying to misquote somebody. And it seems like the people who were in Vlad's corner are starting to get away from Vlad as his stubbornness is starting to be more obvious. His stubbornness and his culture vulture tactics, I think they've added up. I saw this brother talking about how the one little rapper dude told Vlad, if you want to do this, you got to pay me these many millions. And Vlad act like he was talking crazy. But the truth is, Vlad, you already gotten enough free stuff from black culture anyway. Mm-hmm. So ain't nobody talking crazy. That little dude who told you pay me that wasn't playing. And now, the fact that you think everybody playing, more people are starting to fall off on your vehicle that was created by the people that you disrespect. My man, Zoe, you was telling me about what Godfrey and
Lord.
Lord Jamar did?
Yeah. I saw their video. They basically just said it's time to cancel the brother. And from what I was watching and what I picked up from the video, they followed your lead. I think you set the tone a couple of weeks ago when you started talking about it. I ain't got nothing but respect for those brothers, Godfrey and Lord Jamar. And Royce the 5'9". Royce the 5'9" really laid out the case. I mean, the bottom line is we tend to make other cultures rich, wealthy, with our talent. And for some reason, somebody said being a part of their system, whether it's the entertainment business, the radio, record industry, television, somebody said, saying that you got a movie done by Warner Brothers as opposed to doing it yourself, or somebody saying you got a record deal at Universal as opposed to you putting your own shit out. It almost like gives you fucking self-esteem. So this is a power move.
So, y'all heard that, and Corey laying his case, and then the good brother Zoe Williams laying his case of what we should be doing as far as black media is concerned. So let's look at what Corey said weeks prior before this show.
Cause it's your daughter. Get your daughter out of my face before the slaughter. I don't like your daughter, bitch.
I told you he had some shit.
Shout out to Corey Holcomb and 5150 crew and the 5150 chat room goons. You got one right here. So like I said, in this, he's basically this is the first time that he had talked. Well, I think it's the first time he talked about it. But yeah, let's look at the video.
There was some bargaining chips for your ass. So let's get into the shit.
Let's do it.
This weekend, it was brought to my attention that DJ... Matter of fact, I'm going to start this over in case we turn this into a clip. It was brought to my attention this weekend that Vlad from VladTV misquoted the minister. Now this stuff, first of all, let me say this. From what I understand from a source that I call reliable, Vlad don't like the fact that the minister wouldn't go on his show.
Really?
I'm going to tell you something about this Vlad shit. I might have said this before. I don't got nothing against Vlad, and I don't know Vlad. Well, I ain't going to say I ain't got nothing against him now that I seen he, what I feel, intentionally misquoted the minister and a couple other things that happened. Vlad tried to get me to go on his show. I didn't know who the fuck he was. So when my people was like, yo, they want you to come do this show, woo, woo, woo. I mean, I'm just not like the regular nigga. I was like, well, who the fuck show is it? And they like, oh, it's this dude. I'm like, is it major industry production? They like, no, it's in a fucking little ass spot in Van Nuys. I'm like, so his shit like mine, right?
No, that was the wrong question.
No, let me get this one out, Bobby. So I said, I got in touch with Vlad. And I'm like, well, shit, come do my show, I'll do yours. He ain't want to do my show. So you know what the fuck that mean. I ain't finna do yours.
Right.
So now I find out that he tried to get one of our elites, the minister, Farrakhan, to do his show, and Farrakhan didn't do the show. And he felt some kind of way about that. So he has, and somebody sent me this video where they backing up everything they said. Vlad misquoted the minister. And I feel like he did it intentionally because Vlad gets in his feelings when you get to talking about his people. And I want to say this in case Vlad is watching. Your people are the dirtbag Hollywood running motherfuckers. I'm talking about find out who run Hollywood because you was asking questions about Nick Cannon. Oh, Nick Cannon's my friend, so I'll talk to him before I say something about it. Then you said something about Nick Cannon in another episode, but I'm saying Nick.
See, just like I said, Vlad basically made his point through other people. Corey saw right through that shit because he knew how much of a snake that Vlad was. See, what I didn't know at first was the type of person that Vlad was. I don't know him personally, but like just his off-screen demeanor, he seemed like a stand-up dude, and he was he's into hip hop and shit like that. So us thinking that someone's into hip hop, that means that they're into everything that's behind it as well, such as the Minister, the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the Civil Rights Movement, all that type of shit. So us thinking that he is with that, but then we find out that he ain't. That's when we start to be like, okay, well, it's some bullshit here. So let's keep going.
Nick Cannon apologized about what he said.
Yes, he did.
Because dirtbag.
Nick went on basically an apology tour, basically saying how he was sorry. He was just like Ruben stuttered and said how sorry he was for 2004. Let's keep going.
Run Hollywood, and they will blackball your career if you don't do what they want you to do and say what they want you to say. I want you to know that, Vlad. Don't try to make excuses for who the fuck the people you try to act like angels are. They dirtbag motherfuckers. So don't run that shit on them motherfuckers. Snoop Dogg apologized because the dirtbag motherfuckers that run Hollywood, your people, will make it where he can't get that money no more unless he go on there and apologize. So when you ready to talk about some real shit,
Snoop went from you funky dog head bitch to yo, you know what I mean, like she's like my mother's age, so I'm sorry, blah 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 blah, this and that. So Gail gets to disrespect Kobe Bryant, but then when Snoop disrespects Gail, he has to apologize, but not in vice versa, to where Gail has to apologize not only to Kobe's wife and the family. She would have to apologize to the people who had high regard and stuff for Kobe and shit. Like that shit is not acceptable in any way. It's not acceptable at all. So then you got the interview on the Red Table Talk with Snoop, where he's still apologizing. He was on his apologizing tour or whatever. And then freaking Jada says the dumb shit she said, like when you said what you said, I thought it was like you was talking to me. And I told my mom, I called my daughter and asked them, how do you feel about all this? Because ain't he talking to us? And blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, dumbass. Like, you fucking heard what he said and who he was directing it to, because she was on some fuck shit. Like, come on, man. Like, stop.
Holler at me, because this Vlad shit really is played out. I watched the video from this West Coast rapper I grew up listening to, Daz Dillinger. Daz Dillinger said, we need to start taxing these motherfuckers to go on their show. Vlad has millions of dollars off niggas. If you go on Vlad's show, you need to get a percentage of that motherfucking video you doing.
He has such a good point. And here's my point to his point. Until y'all realize what they did to the Cold Crush brothers, then you'll be able to understand.
All you got is your likelihood right now. Hollywood is shut the fuck down. You go on this motherfucker show, you tell this motherfucker we gonna do the paperwork where I get a percentage of what is made off this video, or you gonna pay me to go on your show. He done made enough free money off niggas. What?
Do you know who did that? Do you know who, when Vlad presented the paperwork in front of him, they didn't sign it right away. They read the shit, and then they was like, look, I want to send this over to my lawyer real fast, have him look over it, and then whatever. But Vlad, like, this is what I want to do with this video. I want to be a partner in this video, in every single video that you're going to put out on this. I want to be part owner, and I want the proceeds also from this video that you're going to make off of it. Vlad said no, but they did the video anyway. The people I'm talking about is Monique and her husband, and his name's blanking me right now. But comedian Monique and her husband basically told Vlad, the only way I'm gonna do this video is if I can get partial revenue from this. Like, I need the money off of this because you're using my likeness. You using, you know what I mean, this interview to generate money for yourself. Allow us to generate money off of it too, because we seen your work, we seen what you do, we seen what you're about, and it's only fair if we can get some money off of this as well. And Vlad said no, but they still did the interview. Like, I don't understand like why they did that or whatever. But shout out to Monique and her husband for everything that they do. As if y'all don't know, Monique got won the case against Netflix, so she's gonna be getting kicked some money or whatever. So let's watch the rest of this. I'll probably do another 40 minutes of this, and then I'll get into other stuff, and then I'll end the video.
Everybody going on this show, and this motherfucker got bad intentions by motherfuckers who stand on real shit. Now he'll yuck and smile with you from what I see, but yo man, don't be misquoting my motherfucking people, man. I ain't never met Minister Farrakhan personally, but the man is part of my growth. He is one of the first people I ever heard say some real shit that made me realize I'm not alone in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. When I was 21, about to do some crazy shit, my cousin pulled me to the side. It was like, I think you'll benefit from hearing this, brother. Do you know anything about the Nation of Islam or Louis Farrakhan? And I told him, yeah, like I used to joke about being a Muslim when I was in school. Like I used to say I had a crazy Muslim name, and I'm not even gonna say it. Like I'm not even gonna say what that damn name was. But I basically took his advice. You know, I went on YouTube, and I was amazed of what I was hearing from this man, and I gravitated more to the group, and I followed them for years. I still do. I still look at their Sunday service, their live stream that they have, and I make sure I tune in every year when the Savior's Days happen, because Minister Louis Farrakhan be spitting that shit. Like if y'all ever just do a YouTube search, just type in Louis Farrakhan and hit any video, because I guarantee you that you'll learn something from any of those videos that's on there of him. And not only him, I suggest you look up Brother James Smalls. I suggest y'all look up Brother James Smalls, Neely Fuller, Shahrazad Ali. Look up some Malcolm X stuff too. He got videos on there. and it's countless others. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Make sure y'all look her up, and who else can I throw out there that y'all can look up? Matter of fact, get this book. I got this book. This was one of my first books I've ever bought with my own money. This book is called What They Didn't or What They Don't Teach You in History Class, Volume 1. They never came out with a second volume. I don't know why. But look up this book, because the reason why I read today is because of this book. I have not yet finished that book because it'll make you go to other books because of you reading that book. Like, I'm not even halfway into that book. I'm still within the beginning of the book. That's how powerful that damn book is. And that was my first book I've ever purchased. After that, I bought the first leader of the Nation of Islam, which is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I bought his book, Message to the Black Man. I would say everybody who is of African American descent, I say, and even if you're Jamaican American or Jamaican or African or what have you, I suggest y'all look at this book too. Get both of those books, but I suggest y'all read Message to the Black Man first, because everything that is happening in the world now, well, not only with that book of his, also get Elijah Muhammad's Fall of America. Basically, in that book too, it states everything that's all the calamities and everything that's going to happen, which is happening right now. He basically laid it out, and he wrote that book, I think, back in like the 60s, if not the 50s. So, you know what I mean? So, let me play a little bit
So
more.
when I find out this motherfucker going around misquoting the minister, I'm like, oh, fuck this nigga. It's hands off. You see what I'm saying? So if you go on Vlad's show for free, you ain't doing nothing but making this motherfucker rich. And if you ain't coming on other people's shows, doing their shit for free, or you acting funny with niggas with shows, you fucking up. That shit Dad said is for real. Motherfucker, tax this motherfucker. We can't just be going on Vlad for free, man. The fuck?
The most important part of what you said, Corey, is that part. We should have been doing that from the start of this shit, because it's about monetizing numbers. The tribute to you was he asked you to come on the show, because by the time he asked you, he done probably already had 200 million views from all of the interesting. That's what his stock and trade was. The interesting blacks, the ones who, you know, the hood knew about.
Shout out to Brother Bobby Glanton Smith.
Okay, look at all the people he done interviewed, man.
He interviewed people like he's some motherfucking megastar. He just a motherfucker. We mentally fucked because we all made this motherfucker. He ain't got no major. Look, if you go on the Tonight Show, if you go on some shit that's major media for free, we know why you did it. Y'all made Vlad major media by going on his show.
Yep. And from what I know, Vlad has lost subscribers, but he's still at like 4.28. Yeah, 4.28 million still. I don't know how many subscribers he lost within that, but as black people, we gotta do better. This shit, like, this whole year has showed us what the fuck we supposed to be doing and who the hell we supposed to be cutting off. And I'm not just putting that towards white people or Spanish people or whatever, but Royce the 5'9" said on the Yadamin Godcast, he said black people's worst weakness is our ability to come together. When I heard that shit, I'm like, it's so true. Like, we basically can't come together for nothing other than to protest, and that's it. Or within our families, freaking funeral or a wedding or something like that. Like it's some, not saying all black families, but the few out there that only get together for certain situations, and certain black people that only get together for certain situations. Why can't we just rally together just cause it's Monday? Like why can't we just come together as black people to just stand behind them and get behind somebody because they got a dream. I got a dream to do this. All right, well, I'm gonna stand behind you with that, and I'll make sure that you achieve that goal. And if you don't achieve that goal, we'll reset and we'll make sure that you get to that goal. But you're not gonna fail. Like why can't we do that? So I'm gonna get in. I will say that this is probably gonna be my last video. I end this shit because I've been on here for practically 3 hours. So I know y'all tired of looking at me.
So, you weren't here last week, but I had to briefly touch on our friend. Oh, look, someone right now, this guy Mikey Greenhouse said Vlad needs to be canceled now. So,
try canceling them then. Go ahead.
I mean, right.
Here's the thing about the Vlad thing.
You were here for that, so yeah, I did want to kind of get your take on it.
Well, first of all, we're regulars on there, and the fact that a lot of these Negroes are fucking in touch with me is because of Vlad, because of that platform. Listen, Vlad is a
I've been on about
dude,
Godfrey
okay?
since he
He
used to do comic view on BET.
But what you have to understand is there's a reason why Nick Cannon turned around and said, my bad. There's not saying that, like I said, not saying Nick said his shit. He didn't say it the right way.
Right.
Not saying the information was off, but he doesn't know how to talk like that. Nick, you have been so much of a Nickelodeon clean cut. Now you jumping into this black nationalist shit. You're not an expert in that language.
Now this is what I'll say to what he just said. And this isn't directed towards Nick Cannon, but this is directed towards some other people. Like other people. Freaking. Okay, so like I said, I got into Islam when I was 21. I didn't convert until I was 22. I basically, from there, I've done 2 videos on this guy, Dr. Umar Johnson. I found out about him. And then from there, which sparked my conscious mind to start reading other books other than just the Nation of Islam stuff. I'm talking about like stuff that deals with slavery, stuff that deals with other black leaders that we don't even, that in school we didn't know about, and probably neither did our parents tell us about. And then that's what started my journey from Nation of Islam being so information is key, to the Black Conscious Movement, to where information is king. It's like from there I just read as much as I could, and I still do today. I still I don't have like a full library with just just countless books on it. Like I have stacks and stacks of books, even some that I haven't read yet, because I felt like when I go and read certain passages and stuff out of the one book I was telling y'all about, the what they didn't teach you in history class, I allowed that book to be my marker of what I should read next. So that'll just start my journey off. But yeah, like there are some people out there, and I remember when being woke started being so popular and stuff like that, and they started doing, certain rap artists and stuff like that would do more woke content and stuff like that. But it's like this stuff's been around for years. Even when I got to it, I was like, well, damn, I don't want to feel like I'm an imposter in this shit. Like, I want to know as much as possible. So, you know, if I ever get challenged on anything, I'll know my shit and whatever. So, like, when people started saying, yeah, I'm woke, I'm woke, I'm woke, and I'll always ask, what does that mean to you? And they wouldn't have an answer for it. I'm like, well, look, you saying that you woke, what do you know? Like, okay, you saying you woke, so you just woke up from like learning something, or did you know it, but you didn't do nothing with the information? See, the whole reason why I started doing this podcast is because not only do I like to learn, I also have more to learn. So I'm not saying that me or anybody else is like the authority of knowing some knowledge that anybody can learn. I'm just saying you can basically pick up any book, start from anywhere that has mind, body, and soul of it, like to get you into wanting to learn more of who you are as a black person. You gotta realize running around saying I'm woke and stuff like that, that's cute. You can do whatever you want, but that's cute. But what you don't realize is that you saying that you woke, but what are you woke to? Like, what do you know? If I ask you a question about something, will you be able to give me an answer to it? And with that being said, if I ask you a question about it, will you be able to teach me something that I didn't know about it? That'll have me like, okay, I'm gonna look into that. Thanks for the information. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna start doing my research on it. Because in any video that I have done, other than the first, I don't know, like 13, maybe 14 videos I've done, that half was just on relationships and shit I've been through. The other stuff was me having pounding headaches, researching information, and then bringing it to y'all. Which, you know, if you see my view count on certain videos, it's atrocious. But whatever. I'm not blaming anybody. So, to end this, to get this done, I'll play a little bit more and then judging on, well, with the last video, I'll just basically tell y'all what happened. Let's just play this video.
So, you know, he just did it the wrong way. He just, and then of course they're gonna piece your shit together and clown you. Especially the Jewish black relationship has always been really, 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 really polarizing. You know what I mean? Which it shouldn't be. But even me and Vlad talked about it when Jewish people, especially the Ashkenazis, the Polish Jews, the Russian Jews, when they got to the status of being considered white, they started oppressing motherfuckers. They started to be like the oppressors, like, fuck y'all, we're considered white now. Even Vlad said that shit. He goes, a lot of times when people get in they get to a certain status, they become the sort of the oppressive motherfuckers. You know what I mean? They say, fuck you black folks. You know? And Jews and black people have been working close together for a long ass time. You know? In music, all kind of shit, entertainment, you know, suffering. You know, we can always talk about, we were in the Holocaust, we talk about slavery, blah, blah. And then why are we at odds when we have so many similarities? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of another subject. I kind of want to know how you feel. Like, do you feel that black?
I'm going to skip through it.
Usually, you know that. Motherfuckers don't want to hear it. They're like, I ain't apologizing. He's an anti, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And Vlad said, I will personally, face to face with him, I would love to interview and apologize. He said that, dude.
This is the thing. When they said that, people thought that he wanted to do an interview, a polarizing interview, on his channel, and then have it cut up into pieces how he does it, and then distribute it to YouTube and wherever else he distributes it to, and he wanted to basically people thought that he wanted to make money off of the interview. Now, if you look at any of Vlad's interviews when it comes to members of the Nation of Islam, he had 3 on there. So, yes, it will be good to get the master teacher on, but at the same time, you have you have 3 student ministers on there. You have Brother Wesley Muhammad, you have Brother Ishmael Muhammad, and you have Brother Nuri Muhammad. Which these guys study under Louis Farrakhan, so the only thing new that Louis Farrakhan can say, and I'm not saying this to be spiteful or ignorant, the only thing new that they would have to go to him about is what he talks about at Savior's Day, and the week after Savior's Day when he does his post speech at Mas Mariam. So, with that information, then they go and then they do their studies and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not around these men, so I'm just making an assumption. And you know what I'm saying? Then they bring that to their respected congregations. And then, they go off on the next year of what the minister has to say. And if y'all look at any of those Savior's Day videos, man, I remember when I saw the first one, and like for me binge watching all of his other stuff, and then finally coming up to the point to where he's actually speaking live, and I can get it in real time. I'm like, well, damn, this dude, man. This dude is the truth. As everybody else be saying, yo, that nigga spitting, yo. Like, for real. So, I'm gonna let this play for like another 15 seconds, then I'm gonna end the video.
Said it. Okay. And I'm the one trying to coordinate it. So I went and stretched out and said, hey, they would like to set this up. And so Vlad has to send him a formal email wanting to, yeah. So it's in the works. I hope it works, because that's what I did. I got in touch with Elijah Farrakhan myself. And while people are talking shit, going, Godfrey, what you doing about that? I go, first of all, shut the fuck up. Okay?
So yeah. So basically, in short, Vlad basically twisted the minister's words from what Nick said, and this is what caused this whole rift of Vlad being canceled. And like I said in past videos, I don't really believe in the cancel culture, because anybody is in due time will say something crazy to where they'll have to apologize for it. So basically, in this video right here, and I'm not going to show it because I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm tired of my damn self. What Vlad said to them in like a personal conversation was that he wasn't gonna apologize because he doesn't feel the need to. And also, he doesn't feel like that he should apologize because he's good. He doesn't really need to. He doesn't really need to do all that. Whatever he thinks is that should be done. So Lord Jamal and Godfrey, and then amongst others like Royce the 5'9" and My Son and countless others, including like Vlad's subscribers, have unsubscribed, and Lord Jamal and them basically said, look, we done. Like, we not going on the shit no more. If you go on his this platform, then you corny. If we see y'all on there, you are not to talk or say shit about anything that's going on in the world because you chose to do some corny shit over doing some shit that is would better yourself and also your people. That's basically all that they said. That they done. They ain't talking to them. They ain't fucking with them no more. So, thank you, people, for looking at this. I know I kept y'all here for 3 hours and 3 hours and 30 minutes. So, I think the ones who have watched. I think the people who will see this later, and what else? Oh, go to the Instagram at Marcus.speaks.podcast. Go to Marcus Speaks PC on Facebook. And I also have my personal page, which I don't have a blue check yet. So just go type in Marcus Speaks, you'll find me. That's the personal page. And yeah, so for any newcomers, subscribe, comment, like, and that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.